Howshall of Empowered Hearts Ministry, ministering revival and reformation to the family for 30 years.
We assume we are letting God govern our families as we consult and follow many culturally held beliefs and assumptions. Can you see that? About the most important provisions for our family, educating, discipling, parenting. We also wrongly assume that his stamp of approval is upon those cultural practices of education that leave relational activity out of it. In addition, we assume that his stamp of approval is also on the church's discipling practices that are patterned after the educational system. Again, leaving relational activity out of it. We fail at bringing a whole life preparation to our children that includes a foundation of heart level training. Now, it's my belief that the family and the church are long overdue in rethinking what it actually means to not only parent, but what it means to disciple believers, especially children. God wants to empower parents. Get this, dear hearts. God wants to empower you to become the parents that he intended for you to be all along. He wants to parent us as we navigate through learning how to parent, learning how to educate, learning how to disciple our families toward equipping them in right living and in righteousness. But he has his own ways of governance in our lives that will expose and deal with our fleshly pride and our self-centeredness. He has something more powerful to say about family governance that will empower parents to do the real work of parenting, discipling, and educating. The wide default path carries us naturally toward manifesting bad fruit in our life and relationships. We don't intentionally decide to go there. Who would? Of course we don't. But our own ways lead us there automatically for not having considered God to begin with. Can you see this? The narrow way that leads to life demands an intentional effort with the Lord guiding our process. The ways of God are his narrow path of governance in our family. So ways implies a far more reaching impact to our life than just a single matter. Following our own ways, I believe, is what creates this body of sin that he wants us to turn from, whereas God's ways yield godly fruit. Now, we all know that God is bringing reform to our nation's government, but this awakening that is upon us now is exposing something far more serious and even more personal than we know, and bringing us a needed rude awakening. Rude awakenings of the past exposed oppressive wrongs. Carry that idea with you, okay? The rude awakenings exposed oppressive wrongs against particular groups of people. I'm going to give you some examples. The rude awakening of oppressive church government that led to the Great Reformation of Luther. The oppressive taxation that led to the Revolutionary War. And the oppressive slavery that led to the Civil War. So there were oppressive wrongs against a group of people that brought rude awakenings and caused revival to burst forth in the people that strengthened them to be able to then reform a measure of government in the land. You see?